Good afternoon. Thank you, everybody, for joining us for another edition of The Rude Awakening. My name is Adonis D. Johnson. I am the creator of I Am My Life Coach, which is a mental health tool that's being used throughout the mental health community, as well as the education sector for rehabilitating yourself. It's being used in schools, as well as in people's homes, as well as in corporate America. I'm also the author of I Am My Life Coach, which is the book. Hello, Invisible Crown Army community, Desiree, Felicia. Right now I'm doing this live from a conference room at the Soho House. So wanted to try something different, wanted to do something different. Sharon, welcome. Wanted to welcome you guys, and just say thank you for taking the time out for yourself, for personal development and personal growth. I'm gonna give it a little more time before I jump right into it and give you guys what it is I have to give you guys. And hopefully you can give me the energy that I need in order so that once we depart, we never leave one another. We know exactly what it is we need to do. So let's just give it a second, maybe 30 seconds, let the notifications goes out so I can go in. We go in together with this journey that we are on right now. There's really no community like our community that we're building right now. And I'm grateful to God just for allowing me to be the speaker, allow me to do something so unique and so different. I believe in order to get something different, we have to do something different. With this particular broadcast and this type of talk that we have, you can view this three type of ways. You can either accept what I'm saying, allow it to manifest, think about it, change the narrative in your life and view things a little bit different, sharpen up some of your own skills that you possess, right? And go out and fail better, be better, do better, right? Or you can neglect what I'm saying. And you can come on, listen for a second, jump right off and get back into your day. You got that option, right? We have options in life and we can do that as well. Or three, we can deny what's being said, right? We can just pretty much listen for a second. Oh, this Adonis, he's still talking the same talk. Let me go ahead and do what I need to do, right? And I will accept that as well. The reason I say I will accept that as well, because at least you know that this is Adonis. This is Adonis Johnson, but Adonis Johnson is consistent. He's consistent in making sure that he can possibly make a difference, not just in the lives of others, but in the lives of himself, right? In scriptures, it says, iron sharpens iron. Well, what is iron? Are we talking about metal or are we talking about you? I believe iron is called character. I believe iron is called attitude, right? Your attitude determines your altitude. Your character determines what you display in the world. And for some of us, our display is whack. Our display is weak. So what I do is come and give you a rude awakening, right? A rude awakening is that you ain't going hard as you think you're going, right? You should be a lot further in life. Many of us should be a lot further in life. Well, we can't speak for no one else. We only can speak for ourselves. But why is it that we like to examine what we see, but we fail at what we don't see? And what we don't see is the things we continue to do, right? There's something called a higher you and a lower you. For many of us, we operate on the lower self. We operate on the lower self. It's called the lower self, which is an unconscious state right now. There's a programming. We receive this programming all throughout our life. It's already there. There's no changing it. What creates your future is your habits, the things you do on a day-to-day basis. That's what determines how you perform. For some of you, let's just go further, right? Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon, good morning, however you want to call it. Sean, Jackie, thank y'all for showing up. This is our community right now. This is our time, right? This is the time that we literally either have to knock down what we have or we have to build what it is that we want. For many of us, we're not comfortable with what we have right now. And I'm going to help you out with that. For others, we're comfortable in where we at right now. And that's the problem. You done got comfortable in a place that was meant for you to always advance and always develop. What I want to do is I want to flip the script a little bit. I talked about higher self. I talk about lower self. I talk about personal development. I talk about personal growth. I talk about how to inspire yourself. I talk about how to believe in yourself. The question is, what do you talk about? Do you talk about people? Do you talk about what's wrong? Do you talk about what you don't have? You see, there's a difference between what we want versus where we at. Well, let me give you an example of what it is I'm talking about. Earlier this weekend, right? Guess that was yesterday. And what happened is I received a phone call and someone asked me how I feel. I know the power that lies between I am my life coach. I understand the movement, right? I understand the movement and how it's a grounding. It's really a grounding that allows you to be active and to be aware of basically self-conscious. And he asked me, how do I feel? If I triggered the feeling, how I feel, right? I don't feel I'm where I want to be, right? So my mind would eventually look at what I'm shooting at. It would look at my goals. It would look at what I'm striving for. And at that moment, my feelings will begin to decrease. It will decrease because I'm not where I want to be. For many of you, Marie, Penelope, right? Felicia, many of you, Sharon, right? That's on this feed line. We spend a lot of time with I Am My Life Coach and we have goals. We have places we want to be. It's called bigger, better, greater, right? Bigger, better, greater. And notice, I always state in our earlier talks, put your feelings in your pocket because it's not needed. When you write your goals down, your feelings is not included in your goals. It's all thought. It's all thinking. We have goals that we wrote down. We're going to do one goal per month for 12 months, right? You're going to write down exactly what it is that you want to see happen in your life. Write it down and we're going to focus on it for this month. One goal a month. That don't mean just have 12 goals on your list. That means you have an additional 12 goals. That means one goal per month that you must put all your attention on every day. I'm praying on it. I'm focusing on it. The Invisible Crown Army, when we come together, if you thinking about it, they thinking about it, and they don't even have to know you. Why? Because we came up with this as a community. We came up with this together, right? So when your mind is focused on what you want, right? What you want, then guess what? You're not there. That's something that you want, right? So I told this individual, let's get back to the story. I said, I don't really want to go with how I feel because I'm not where I want to be. You see, everything you write down is where you want to be, is what you want to have. And that's enough to sink your feelings and your emotions. You see, your feelings and your emotions is the gas that you need to produce what it is you desire. So I don't like for us to mismanage the fuel, because if our fuel goes out, we don't have no power. If our fuel goes out, we can't get to where we're going. So when this individual asked me how I feel, I didn't even want to use that fuel, because if I would have used the fuel, it would begin to see where my mind is pointed at, where my day is pointed at, the things I strive for, the things I desire. Remember, your desire is connected to your expectation. Without no expectation, you can have no desire. They goes together. When you desire something, then you put the expectations on it. That's why we're writing our goals out. That's why we're working together as a community, because your goals versus somebody else's goals is not in conflict. What I desire for my life should not affect you at all, right? It should not affect you at all. And for some of you, the things you want for yourself, it shouldn't affect anybody else except you, because your life affects everything around you, right? You draw on to you what you desire for you, right? Okay, so watch this. I said I didn't want to trip the switch Because if I activate my feelings, it will begin to take power because I'm not where I want to be. My few is working, but once my mind and my few work together to display it to somebody else, I lose power. What am I saying? For many of you, we talk a lot. This is not the time to be talking. This is the time that we're going to have to stop. We're going to have to look and we're going to have to listen. We in a new place. I could tell you to put your feelings in your pocket, but that's just a slogan, a phrase. I will have to teach that all over again. I will let you understand that your feelings and your emotions is your fuel. That's your gasoline. And we don't need to be letting people know how much gas we have. We can't use gas explaining ourselves because you will trip something and you will revert back down. You will spiral back down into where you used to be in a bad place before you wrote out the goals, before you wrote out the goals. You see, you can write out goals and start getting happy because you're seeing exactly what it is you want for yourself, right? You're actually thinking about it. Come on, y'all. And so, there go my boy Tony. What's up, bro? You're actually thinking about what you want, right? So now that we done put this out here based on what we want, we have to silence ourselves and stay focused on this on a day-to-day basis. Well, guess what? This is how I had to go around this situation. I said, I don't really want to say how I feel, because if I go off of how I feel, I'm not where I want to be. You see the goals? I said, but then the flip side to this is I'm where I'm supposed to be. Many of you don't get this twisted. You see, some of us need to start thanking God and being thankful we right where we supposed to be. If you are on this broadcast, we right where we supposed to be. We're not where we want to be, but you gotta start being grateful that we are where we supposed to be. Some of you are in your right mind. For others, you are in right position. For others, you have been patient. You have been waiting. You're not frustrated. We're not angry. We only become frustrated and angry when we start looking at what we want versus when we start identifying with what we have. Come on, y'all. Listen, there's two things that's going on. I'm going to let you know right now. Notice I never said what's behind me, because for some of us, what's behind you don't matter no more. What's behind you don't matter no more. This community is being built. I know it's being built by God. This is something that we both can understand. There's many books out here in the world. There's many lessons being taught out here in the world. The only question you got to ask yourself, what is the right book for you? What is the right mentality for you? What is the right conversation for you? You can go read 1,000 books and don't none of them stick. You can go listen to 1,000 people, 1,000 voices, and don't none of them stick. Some of you only want to listen to your mama and what your mama said. You only want to listen to what your brother said or a family member said. You only want to listen to what your spouse said or your significant other said. You ain't my guy or whatever. You ain't my girl. We only want to listen to certain voices. Did you ask yourself why? Because lower self has already been programmed. So you only trust what you have heard before. You only do what you have done before. You get it? The opposite of lower self is higher self, right? There's a higher self to you. There's a higher way of thinking. The only problem is power and authority. Who has the power? Do your lower self has power, or do your higher self has power? I will let you understand something right now. For many of us, people are operating on lower self because lower self has more power. It has more power because you was unconscious. You didn't play a big part when the programming was taking place. This is why I say you learn, you unlearn, you relearn. We struggle at the unlearning because how can you unlearn what it is you don't even know you learned? Everything you do, you have learned. You have learned to walk. You have learned to talk. You have learned to dress yourself. You have learned to order your own food. You have learned so many things that not beneficial to where you're going. We have learned this. Lower self, power. Your power is in your lower self right now. So now let's go with, so the opposite of power, right, is powerless. full and empty, right? Now, if we take this power and we change this power and give it to the higher self, how do you do so? Authority. Now, who has the most authority? Your lower self or your higher self? You see, you can't have one without the other. The opposite of up is down. The opposite of right is left. The opposite of fast is slow. So then there has to be a new you versus the old you. This is where the conflict is coming in at right now. You see, there's an old you. And if you take your mind and you look back at the old you, then there will be something called an image. The old you is tell yourself, ask yourself, what type of person you used to be. Now be open, be honest with yourself. Ask yourself, what type of person you used to be? When you look at the type of person you used to be, you will see all the characteristic traits that we talked about earlier. You will see the attitude, right, that you used to have earlier. Where are we looking at? We're looking in the past right now. But if you look at the present and you say, what type of person I want to be, right? The person I want to be is really the person that I can be right now. You see, based on what you want, you have to put it in play right now. You have to do the things right now. What am I saying? This is the Rude Awakening, and we come online. We do this talk, we do this broadcast in the 3 o'clock hour. This is about personal development. This is about personal growth. This is mental health. We're doing mental training right now. We have to make time for ourselves if we expect to be better. Remember, iron sharpens iron. Where do you think you're going to get this from if you never have hand-to-hand combat? If you never have nobody training you, working with you, right? We have relied on everything to try to help us, and none of these things help us. Well, let me go deeper. For some of you, you want me to go deeper? I'll go deeper. Let's go ahead and break this thing open, because we here for a good time, not a long time. Let's go ahead and get down to it right now. Some of us, we done tried school. We done tried relationships. We done tried alcohol. We done tried drugs. We done tried shopping, we done tried clothes, we done tried TVs, we done tried cars, we done tried everything, right? We done put ourselves in marriages saying, hey, if I get married, maybe this gonna make me happy. If I have children, maybe this gonna make me happy. We done tried everything. We done tried everything. I'm gonna change my house around, right? Maybe I'm gonna go feed the homeless. Come on, y'all wanna be honest? You ain't feeding the homeless because that's what you feel like that's a need for them. You feeding the homeless because you wanna feel better. Let's be clear about this. Some of us, we do things for others, not because we really want to do things for others. We do things for others because we want to feel like we have done something. Many people, they on this feed line, they on this broadcast now because they feel like, hey, I'm supporting Adonis. Good, thank you. Because that's what it takes to have a friendship, to have a relationship. You want to support something that supports you. You cannot do one without it coming back on you. You cannot sow without receiving. Everything you give, from your attention to your time, is sowing. God was talking about this sowing all in the scriptures right now. He was talking about it, right? He was saying whatever you sow, there will be reaping. That's a law. But for some of us, we done tried to sow into everything, and what it do? It shaped the wrong thing. Because we had the wrong idea. We had the wrong attitude. We went about life the wrong way. And we cannot blame those that tried to do what they do. They didn't know no better, right? And now that we're stuck here wondering what exactly happened. Why we do some of the things we do, and we call it our what? Personality. This is my personality. This is my character. You're trying to change me. No, life should have changed you for the better, but you keep choosing what? The worst. We have chosen everything to try to give us a feeling, to try to give us power, and none of it has worked. You know why? I'll tell you why. Because I wrote this book called I Am My Life Coach. This is the blueprint to your why. Your why will help change your what. What's going on now is on you right now. And the reason that life is not opening up like it needs to is because you have not tried you. You have not taught you. You have not worked with you. You will get in a relationship with someone else. Boyfriend, girlfriend, doesn't matter what title you put on it. You want somebody to accept you as you are. You know, some people, I heard someone say something to me and they said, Adonis, I ain't claiming to be no angel. Well, guess what, Invisible Crown Army? What's the opposite of angel? What's the opposite? You see, the opposite of up is down. The opposite of left is right. The opposite of stupid is smart, right? The opposite of you ain't no angel. In my eyes, oh, it's a demon. The opposite of an angel is a demon. Come on, you guys. You speak what it is you desire. If you not feeling the way you should be feeling right now, it's because you created it. You see, your success is created by your choices and decisions. Your failures is created by your choices and decisions. I'm going to be totally honest with you. Everything don't work for me. Let's be clear. How do I know what works for me? Because I stay in the driver's seat working my life nonstop. I Am My Life coach helped me with that. Not only did it help me with that, it helped other individuals with it as well. If this did not work for my life, do you think I will be broadcasting this to someone else? If some food or a restaurant has crappy service, right, or it's bad service, right, you wouldn't go around telling people, oh man, this restaurant is good. This restaurant, the food is amazing. It's so clean, right? The environment is clean. I just love it, right? We broadcast based on the type of service we receive. Now, guess what? When it comes down to the creator and the creation, you are the creation. God is the creator. So when you broadcasting, you're upset, you're frustrated, I'm angry, I don't feel happy, I'm emotional. You broadcast based on the service you provide. Not God. You. Because you're the creation from the creator. But when you don't understand the creator, then we have to look at the creator, the little co-creators that was operating in your life. Here's your rude awakening right here. The little co-creators, right? You remember when you was getting with that person, that other individual, and they was like, this is yours. This is all yours. I'm yours. Everything I have is yours. You remember that? They was creating a space in your conscious mind, and they was reprogramming using feelings and emotions and moments. Right? And you walked away believing like, yeah, that is mine, right? No, that's not yours, but that was part of the programming. That was some of the things that you need to uninstall. You see, so many little co-creators around here has created a creation inside of you, and it does not work for you, okay? So let's just bring it on back. Let's bring it on back. Let's just tear it all back down again. Let's just break it all back down again. And I want to make sure that I connect this thing with something, right? This is the year of being seen. I know for many of you, you want to look at it like, hey, Happy New Year. Stop. Because to be happy is to be in the right form to create the life that you want to have happen. For many people, this is why New Year's resolutions, meaning like, this is my resolution for this year, right? And we write down all this stuff, but you do not work the stuff you write down. You just thinking writing it down just gonna up and happen on its own. You don't look at these goals no more. Every day you start out, I thank God, and you go out and you do the exact same thing, and by the time this whole year run by, you have not accomplished anything. That's why there's one goal per month. One goal, at least you can say you accomplished something, right? Remember earlier in my example, somebody asked me how I feel, and I thought about it. If I go off of how I feel, I know I'm not where I want to be. For many of you, listen to what I just said. You see, your feeling is the fuel to power what you desire. But if somebody tap into my psyche, they tap into my power line, they will make me start draining my power from where I want to be. Well, where is it you want to be, right? And that's what I need my feelings and emotions, because your feelings and emotions is what produce the purpose, your purpose. You know how some people are like, you're so passionate. You're so passionate, Adonis. You're so passionate about what you're doing, right? That's because you got fuel. Your fuel is your feelings and your emotions, until you go run and tell your business to your girlfriends and to somebody else. This is what I want. And they be like, why you want that? Soon as they say, why you want that, you done tripped your system and your butt goes tumbling down, right? So I said, well, if I talk about how I feel, it will be based on what I want. And of course, where I want, it's not where I'm at, right? For some of you, your power is where you're supposed to be at right now. Ask yourself, are you where you at right now? Are you in position to take on more? Are you in position to capture the things you're looking for? Are you in position? You see, some of you got reserve right now. You got a little money put to the side. That means you in position. If an opportunity open up, you can seize the opportunity. For some of you, you are in great position to be healed right now. That means you tired of worrying about something you cannot fix. You see, listen to this right here. The body is created in a normal state. Everything you have is in a normal state. It's not until you put your thought into it. It's not until you try to do something that it becomes abnormal. You see, if I wrote down the goals, I'm not going to write down why the goals won't work. I'm not going to write down, you know what, I want to be involved with someone, but if I be involved with, you see that, but if I be involved with someone, they're going to go back and forth with me. I'm going to have to explain stuff to them. This is why I don't want to be involved. You see, this is why it's put you back where you used to be. Meaning this is put you in an inactive state because you want to go higher, but your words that comes out end up speaking over your own self. But see, no one never taught us this, so we never move. We're not using the ability that God allows us to operate in. I want to give you a scripture before I go, though. I got to give you a scripture. Ooh, this is amazing, too. Check this out. It's really like, listen, welcome to the road of recovery. I believe you guys, the alternate route, which is what this is all about, is the road of recovery. What we learned the last couple of weeks, y'all got to go check out some of them old feeds that we just did, those old broadcasts, right? What we learned is let me bring it up. Let me bring it up. What we learned, let's bring it up. Okay. What's going on, everybody? This is The Rude Awakening. My name is Adonis D. Johnson. I am the creator of I Am My Life Coach. I also the author of the book I Am My Life Coach. Is located on Amazon. I am a motivational speaker, right? I believe in self-empowerment. My whole guided thought process is about bigger, better, greater, right? How to inspire yourself, how to empower yourself. Some of you just need one thing. You just need a salt crumb. If the Bible said you just need the faith of a mustard seed, and we looking like we just need the faith of a mustard seed. For some of you, you just need a salt crumb. You just need a pepper crumb. One of them little pepper, just a little. One thing can set it off for your whole life. I look to bring that one thing. I want to be the one that brings the light to you. And when I bring the light to you, that your life just take off and things start happening for you. I don't really need the credit. Give yourself the credit because God created you to be you, but you have to work with yourself right now. I'm trying to work with you while you work with you. There is a higher you and there's a lower you. For some of us, we operate so much on the lower because the lower is what has the power right now. And every time you try to do something, the lower you goes back to what it has always done. That's called power right there, right? Now, let's talk about the opposite of that right there. Let's get on over to authority, right? Who's in control right now? The higher you has control. To be honest with you, if you look at it like I'm trying to get you to look at it, your higher self has the authority. Right? But the lower you right now has the power. This is the fight that you're going with right now. My authority says I want bigger, better, greater, and this is what I will have for myself. The power in you says you won't have no money. Look at you. You can't do nothing. It tells you the last 5, 10, 20 relationships you done failed. Notice you eat too much. You ain't losing no weight, right? Because we like to eat, right? We like ice cream, okay? We like to drink. We like to dance. Every Friday we go out. Saturdays we get our hair done and we get our feet and our nails done. Why get your hair done if nobody don't get a chance to see you? And you be thinking like, authority. You know what, lower self, you are absolutely right. I'm not finna sit here and get my hair done and my nails done. Nobody don't see me. I just got my makeup done. Everything. No, we going out. And the bottom you says, exactly. Okay, we gonna go out because somebody gonna see us and we look good. Don't you want to let everybody know we look good? Remember last time we looked good together? And you be like, I do remember that. See, you done tricked yourself and you done got rid of your bigger, better, greater. And you going back to this is how it's always been. This is how it always goes. You see, somebody got to change the narrative. So let's go ahead and go deeper a little bit. If you want me to go deeper, I'll go deeper, right? So let me go deeper. Let's go deeper. What's the... Oh, man. Right now, you guys, I'm going live from the conference room at the Soho house. Let's do something different, right? Look at my little background in the back. Check this out. Now, I'm looking up the definition. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong for this, right? Oh, they say go deeper. Okay. They say go deeper, bigger, better, greater. Indeed. Let's go, right? So let's go ahead and journey. Let's go ahead and journey. Let me see what's holding this little phone up. It's just, okay. Here you go. Here you go, right here. Recovery. This is the road to recovery. It's actually called self-recovery. Listen to me, hear me, and hear me good. This broadcast will be put up on YouTube once this broadcast ends, just so people will know. I will always shoot the Facebook first and then I will load it, right? Recovery, a return to a normal state of health. Let's stop. Think about that. Recovery means to return to a normal state of health, right? I expressed to you earlier, your body, for all those that's dealing with any type of sickness, disease, illness that's going against your body, right? Your body was meant to be in a normal state. We was birthed into a normal state. We wasn't birthed into a situation. We was birthed into a normal state. Anything that you have comes in from a normal state of being. Even a relationship, even a new job, even a business idea. Anything that you have comes in a normal state, right? Now, it says return of a normal state, a normal mind, or strength, right? The actions or the process of regaining possession or control of something. Here's the rude awakening. We never had it. We never had control of anything. We was disabled from the start. The only thing we have control of is right now. For many of you, I'm not finna sit here and play with your mind. This is not no reverse psychology. This is the truth. The truth will set you free. What would it set you free from? It'll set you free from bondage. It'll set you free from ignorance. But your power in your lower self will probably tell you, I'm not ignorant. I know more than you know. Right? It will tell your higher self, I know more than you, right? Your lower self will tell your higher self, I know more than you, right? So I'm not ignorant, right? So when somebody else says, you know what, you in bondage, guess what your lower self said? I'm not in bondage, right? See, if you never see yourself as the problem, you will never have a target to actually shoot at and work on. This is why we keep working outwardly instead of working inwardly. See, we look for a counselor, we look for a psychiatrist, we look for a life coach, we look for a pastor, spiritual, we look for someone to talk about God, we look for somebody to try to motivate us. You see, motivation gets you going, but habits is what keeps you going. And for some of us, we look for grandmama. My grandmama said to me, my mama always taught me, my daddy said this. Everybody said something. The question is, what? Why can't you say something to yourself? You know you want better. You know you want more. You know you want to go higher. How do this happen? You have to teach yourself every day. Waking up, I am my life coach. Waking up, telling yourself, I believe that I am my life coach is the ace. Is the ace. The king in some of your eyes, it's the ace of all affirmations. I believe that I am my life coach. I'm probably the only one in the world that done trademarked a self-affirmation. Because this self-affirmation was given to me by God for the people of God. I believe you are the people of God. I believe that God had a purpose for you just like he had a purpose for me. And he brought us together so we can work with each other, so we can get through whatever it is that's been holding us back. See, to get through is a breakthrough. No one can give you the breakthrough but you. God didn't put your purpose outside of you. He put your purpose in you. But see, for many, you keep listening to everybody else wanting to know, and you wonder why we confused, why you confused, why your life is confusing right now. It's because you have not gained the full authority and the power, because the old you don't have no power. If you listen to the authority that's coming from the higher you, then the power is in where you want to go. The power is in what you about to do. I'm going to show you where power is at right now. If you look at your clock, your time will tell you the time right now. It will not give you the time from yesterday. It'll give you the time from right now. Your power is in your right now. It's what you going to do right now that's going to make the biggest difference right now. The old you have no power unless you give it the authority to keep replaying what has already been planned. Every time something new happens, if you replay what done already happened, then you are living in what was and not where you at right now. You see, I'm here to readjust this. I'm here to help you bring these walls down. This is why personal development is very important, because we have to develop at this point. We have to develop what has been undeveloped. Can't nobody tell you about you except you. But you don't even know that you never even existed as of yet at this point, because it's filled with programs, directions of everyone else. And now you don't allow what you see to dictate what you do. Let's go ahead and let me go into one scripture real quick. We learned about recovery. Let's go into one scripture. I normally don't bring scriptures into this thing, but I needed scripture today. I needed it today, right? Listen to this. Listen to this. Watch how I flip the script. Okay, I'm finna flip the script. I love the Spirit. I love the Spirit of God. I believe I have the Spirit of God. With my Spirit of God, I believe in my purpose is to come and get a few of you. I don't need many. I just need a few. And I have already located the few people that will be walking with me. But some people gonna be assigned to walk with you. That's why you here. I might not walk with you, but there will be some people that walk with you that requires you to have to walk with me, because I'm only going to speak the truth. So here's the truth right here in the word. Luke 4, right? Verse 14. Listen, Jesus returned to Galilee in the power of the Spirit. Stop. You get it? Return, recover. See, recover. Some of you finna recover, Desiree, with the Spirit of God. Now that you know what you know, stuff not finna just go easy for you anymore. I mean, people that used to have it easy, you say this, you be like, okay, they call you, you come running, you gonna be looking like, wait a minute, I'm not doing that. Nah, not today. You see, your power is in your today. This is why I am my life coach is the foundation. He say, make your foundation, build your house on the rock. I Am My Life Coach is a rock. It's literally the base ground for whatever you trying to accomplish. You gonna have to be present. Do you want to become wealthy and you still in your wrong mind? Right? You will be the stupidest and the dumbest millionaire. And this is why some people that are millionaires right now are sitting in nursery homes or they done suicide, right? Many people killed themselves because they never took the time out to get an inner concept, right? They never took the time. Notice, when you got to join something, that's not you. That's something else. You see, when you got to join a church, when you have to join, you got to pledge and join and pledge to be in a sorority or a fraternity, right? You got to join something, right? Like a marriage, right? I join you together, right? That means that's still you participating in something else. We're talking about you right now. You don't have to join God because God was the one who created you. So you don't have to join what it is he created. You just need to understand what the creator, right, did for you as the creation. So now watch this, you guys. You don't have to go look for your purpose. He put your purpose in you. For some of us, I'm trying to find my purpose. This is your purpose. What you doing right now at this time. This is your purpose, to fix, to undo what done have already been done. Is just turn yourself this way and don't never look that way. Look this way. And everything that comes into your presence, he said, I put before you a curse and a blessing. He said today, you're going to have to choose, right? You're going to have to choose life or death. Every day, you got to choose what you desire. You got to choose what it is you want. And when something do not fit the description, you cast that down and you stay focused on bigger, better, greater. You understand what I just said? Notice, you have to invest in you. Everything is about you. You, because when people see you, they see the one who created you. Well, let me say that part one more time. I don't want to sound like a preacher, but if I start preaching, you guys, y'all gonna have to give me a little offering or something, okay? That's how good it be. When people see you, they need to see who created you. I'm here to confirm to you that I was created by God, the creator, right? This is the creation. We created the Invisible Crown Army. That is your inner concept. Is I Am My Life Coach. This is the front line. Why are we on the front line? Because whatever's behind you do not matter no more, because it's only trying to kill you based on what's behind you. But if you turn around and face what's behind you, then you will never get what's in front of you. Bigger, better, greater. You understand? So listen to this. Jesus returned to Galilee in the power. Return means recover. Are you ready to recover right now? Recover what? Your mental health. Recover what? Your body right now. If you think the right way, your body will heal the right way. Let me show you. If you cut yourself if you cut yourself right here, and I cut myself right here on my ear, and I cut myself on my kneecap, do you not know my body will begin to repair itself? I don't have to tell my body, hey, repair this cut on my finger, right? Repair this paper cut, right? Repair this right here over here. You got to repair my ear, right? It already knows. So anytime you fall and scrape yourself, you get up. Guess what? You don't say, body, repair yourself. No, it already knows to repair itself. Some of you have been broken, you have been frustrated, you have been hurt, you have been living in loneliness, and you are depressed, right? And your mind stays right here every day. I don't care who you hear. You can hear pastor, apostle, bishop, pope, Buddha, whoever, but you don't hear yourself. It's not until you hear yourself, it's when you heal yourself. Some of us, we listen to the music thinking the music gonna what? Make us feel bad. Some of us, we listen to trap thinking it's going to give us some movement, right? It's going to make us feel better. It doesn't. It destroys you, right? Well, some of us, we want to go watch a movie and we don't know what the movie going to be, but we all eating popcorn like, this movie is good because you taking on images, right? That conflicts with where you going because you looking at the movie, but when the movie is done, they get paid constantly for every time somebody watched the same movie, right? They get paid because they was acting. This is what costs you. Every time you replay what done happened in your life, your future pays for it. So you don't want to create what you can have or visualize what you can have or dream based on what you can be. You want to watch what you used to have. You want to watch old hurt. You want to watch old times, old moments. And old moments, old times do not bring you anything. And you study pan. So when people come into your presence and they get your opinion or you ask for their opinion, they are replaying old times. They are replaying, well, this is what happened to me. I don't care what happened to you. Dang, that was rude. This is your rude awakening. I'm not here for what happened to you. You are here for what happened to you. You are the one that I don't want to hear what happened. I want to hear what's about to happen. And that's all I'm saying to you guys. That's all I'm saying to myself. Jesus returned, recover, right? In power of the Spirit. The Spirit is, how do you feel about bigger, better, greater? How do you feel about going further? The only way you're going to get there, you're going to need some support. Your support is the inner concept. That's the foundation. This better be your support, or I will take this book and I will, you understand, you ever seen your grandmother say, I grabbed this book, it was the Bible, and she said, I'll pop you upside your head with it. This is your concept. I thank the Invisible Crown Army because you guys, the more I learn about the power that's of I am, the more I learn about life and the life that I want to have. I want to bring life. I want to be a part of life. I don't want to be a part of nothing that's dying. I don't want to be a part of something that's dead. Remember Jesus said, let the dead bury the dead. How can you participate in what's dead? Old memories, old relationships, all that is dead. But you entertain the dead because you don't have an enter concept. The concept is, what time is it? What time is it, you guys? Anybody know what time it is? The time is now. That's the time. The time is right now. Long as you focus right now, then you're going to have to meet me on a Mighty Monday Meltdown at 7 o'clock. We call it time out. See, time out on everything else that's going on. And we got to readjust. We got to sharpen ourselves. We got to tune up. We need a tune up. Right? Notice, God said, look at the word restrain. You see, the lower self has restraint on the higher self because the lower self has power. So we got to take the S out of that restraint so we can retrain the lower self to submit to the higher self. You don't have no power. What's behind me has no power. My power is in the fact that I can choose what I desire to participate in. But notice, whatever you participate in requires a new you. It requires something different. And some of us, you talk too much. That's lower self. See, shut it down, meaning to shut it off. Let me just stop talking. Because every time I talk, I mess it up. Have you ever said, every time I talk, I always mess something up? See, like some people used to tell me, Adonis, you talk too much. Right? Some people used to be trying to, let me be honest with y'all. Let's be honest. Back in the day, I used to go out and I used to do my little dancing thing, right? And people used to come and they used to be like, ooh, man, I want to be with you. I want to this and this. And I start talking. You know, God told me this and this. And they be looking like, by the time I'm done talking, they be looking like, you know what? We'll talk another time. I be like, what I do? Wow, man, wait a minute. Let's talk. Let's forget to talk another time. What about what we was about to do? What am I saying to you? You see, my purpose was always in me. I didn't have to go look for my purpose. My purpose was always available to me. I just wasn't tuned in on it. For many of you, What you love to do and passionate to do, you do it anyway. It's just you're not focused on that part. You focus on the part you don't want. You don't focus on what you desire to have. You focus on the conditions based on where you at right now. So let me bust this thing and I got to get going. So Jesus, right, he returned back, recover, power of the Spirit, and the news about him spread it. Stop. You see, once you start making good choices, once you start saying, I am my life coach, notice, I am not trying to tell somebody else, hey, I am my life coach. Even when I tell you this, you looking at me like, so? That's just how much powerful it is that you can't steal nothing. See, God said, make your treasures in heaven places. See, I am my life coach is a mindset of higher self. You see, if you make your treasures in your higher self, then nobody can steal anything away from you. But if you make yours in your lower self, then people gonna come and rob you, steal from you, because lower self, right, likes anything and everything. It likes what it likes, lower self. But when higher self steps in, lower self can no longer run nothing. Higher self is the Lord. That is the Spirit of God. So he returned back. For you guys, I'm on Luke 4, verse 15 now. He was teaching. Notice, who was he teaching? Authority was teaching power. See, restrain is where I used to be. Take the S off, retrain. You have to start teaching your lower self how things need to work now. I get it. You used to do, I get it, but not no more. Your other self, yeah, we used to eat this, not no more. We used to eat after 12, not no more. You see, you have to have higher self teaching lower self. But many of us, we thought that this teaching mean go teach somebody else. Then the Bible corrects you and say, how can you teach others and don't teach yourself? Oh, wait a minute. The Bible says this. The Bible says, how can you who want to teach and show, I'm going to show her, I'm going to show him, I'm going to show that. You want to show everybody something, but you ain't showed yourself nothing. That's why I'm here, to assist you as well as myself. Assist you meaning it's your job. You would have got better results if people would have made you present when it was time to desire something more from you. You see, if you wanted money or if you wanted real estate, you attend some real estate classes, you will learn real estate, and you'll be trying to sell real estate only to get what? Money. But you'll be the same, broke, poor, mentally frustrated, confused, bitter, chit-chatty, defensive person, alienated from God. And he said you'll be wicked and you'll be adulterous because you want everything of the world. And yet I was trying to give you the whole world. You can sit here and be living in a tent and be the happiest person long as you understand that at least I chose to be in this tent. And look at my view. I view the world as it should be. It's not noisy, right? It's quiet. I see the mountains. I see the wind blow. I love earth. I love God creation. At night, I look at the stars, all this. But see, for some of you, you don't see peace because you have not created peace. But you want to sit here, peace be still. I demand you, I decree and declare. The Lord say, let these dumb people keep doing what they think they're doing. Because you not understanding. How can you teach others and you have not taught yourself? So watch this. I'm going to show it to you. He said he was teaching in their synagogues. You see, some people are being ran by lower self, and the synagogue is called lower self, right? That is your church. That's your belief system. Who taught your belief system? Anything and everything that came into your life is what created your synagogue, which is your lower self. This is new stuff. I didn't go to school to learn this. God could only teach me this. But thank God that I came to teach it to you. Because if he give it to me, I'm giving it to you. And one salt crumb can change every damn thing. One word can change your whole life. One breaker, one stop, one shift can shift your whole life in the right direction that you get everything you desire. Is that worth this little time right now, because this little time is called the power of right now. I can't go back into your yesterday. We can't talk about last month, but we can talk about right now. But if something else have your attention right now other than this right here right now, then you are already going to do what it is I said earlier you're going to end up doing. And that is going back to your lower self, who has the power, and the one that should has the authority, which is the higher self, right? It takes its order from the lower you, when the lower you should get its order from the higher you. Some people, you want to pray and you talk to God, which is the higher you, but soon as you get up from your knees, you go right to doing what you have always done, which means the lower you have the power and you have no training. So I come to bring training. I come to bring understanding. I come to build the foundation. I come to install the inner concept, and I'm not going to install something if you're not present. I can't give you something that requires the beginning of this broadcast and the end of this broadcast. You can't come in to the middle and then get off, right? And then say, I'm going to come back and watch it, because your install will stop. It's not installed. So I'm going to finish this thing on Monday, but I can't leave the word open. The Lord said, I can't even leave the word open. Man, watch this. He told me to give you one more example. For many of you, let me show you what doesn't happen in our past, in our previous. It's like seeing a picture of something. We see a picture, right? An idea. We see a picture. We go to IKEA is the perfect example. You see the picture. You walk through the showroom, right? You walk through the showroom. You find something that catches your eye. Ooh wee! Look at that cabinet. It got lights on it. It got the doors. It can store everything I need, right? I gotta have this cabinet. Ooh, this cabinet gonna look so good. I got the rug too, right? And I'm gonna get this right here. Boom, off the chain. Took the picture. It says write down the barcodes. You writing down the barcode. Well, I gotta write these barcodes down. So you writing down the barcodes. Then it says go to a certain section and find where your barcodes is at, right? So we gotta go find this. This is just like life. Write down what you desire to have. Write the barcodes down. I want my own business to be up and running. I want me a new house. I want to pay off these credit cards. I'm gonna see him. I'm gonna get this new Louis Vuitton bag. You can get things. Let's be clear about this, right? I want this new coat, right? Okay. Now you got to go to a certain section and you got to go get it. So you go get to a certain section, you get it. They got 35 boxes they put in your car. Boom, 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 boom. Now you get it to your house. When you get it to your house, you open this up and you got directions. Man, wait a minute now. See, you wanted to buy the picture. Did not understand you got to put the picture together yourself. So for many of you, we have goals, bigger, better, greater. It's going to happen for us. Let's be clear. And your picture is going to happen for you the way you see it. The question is, how long is it going to take to happen? How long is it going to take for you to get up and get out and get over yourself and get to work? We got work to do, okay? We got to put this thing together. But for some of you, you keep putting stuff together. And then once it's together, you got 5 screws left. Now, what do you do when you got 5 screws left and you don't put this thing together? Some of you go just put it on the curve and say, hey, I got 5 screws left. Well, I ain't taking it back apart. And guess what? That's the relationship or the marriage or the business you have now. You see, you understand that when it was given the screws, every component requires to be added. You see, some of you want to be married, but you don't want to put all the components to the marriage. So why form something if you're not going to have all the legs? It says you need 4 legs. You want to form something with 2 legs. You want to have a handicapped marriage. You want to birth a marriage on crutches. You get what I just said? This thing supposed to have 4 legs, or at least 2 legs. You got crutches. Some of you you birth a marriage based on wheelchairs. Oh, wait a minute. I don't want no marriage on no wheelchair. I mean, we got to sit down in our marriage and we got to roll ourselves around. We can't walk. We can't run. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You see, you got to put together what you desire. And for some of us, we have manipulated the process so much to the point where we don't have nothing because we want somebody else to put it together. And that's what have happened in your past. You have let somebody else put something together, put somebody, tell me about the last girl you was with. So they just say, I never do that. See, that's the reason, that's the problem. Nah, you see, she did what? See, she don't know how to be a woman like me. See, we want to look at what was put together and think we can put something different. We want a cheat code. I'll do better, right? You ain't gonna do better because you don't know who you dealing with. You don't know his inconsistency. You don't know his issues. He don't appreciate nothing. That's why she did that. She gave him exactly what he was worth. She gave him exactly what he was. She didn't give him bigger. She didn't give him better. She didn't give him greater. Why? Because he wasn't after bigger and he wasn't after better and he wasn't after greater. You see, you can only produce what you desire. You see, your desire is connected to your expectation. Your expectations is connected to your desire. You can't expect something and have no exact desire for it to happen. You see, for me, I'm going this way, bigger, better, greater. Everybody that's on this broadcast, including the Invisible Crown Army, as well as any guest that's invited in, we going this way today. We going bigger, better, greater. We don't want to talk about what was, what used to be. Some people still get on, they'll see my face and be like, I remember you used to dance. I'm still dancing. I'm just dancing a new dance right now. Oh, let me go ahead and finish this scripture. I'm sorry, you guys. Did you get the example? We want stuff already put together. And then, because we saw a picture, that's the child in us. We don't want to read the book. I bought you a book. The book was for you. This is your instructions on how to get the bigger, better, greater off the ground. You see, motivation gets you going. Habits keeps you going. I Am My Life Coach is a habit. It keeps me going. Every time somebody starts speaking, I be looking like, who you speaking for? You ain't speaking. Did you ask me? They be like, why you being so difficult? Good. Because back in my past, people never said I was difficult. They said I was easy. They said I was crazy. They said, you so funny. I'm not funny. I ain't shit funny about me. Let's be clear. I want to get it done. And by all means, that means I will use some of the stuff I learned on my lower self because I know that it provides fuel to thrust me because my higher self overrides everything. I appreciate you guys spending this time. I'm going to close this thing out real quick and I'm done. It says, and everybody praised who? Him, because his higher self was teaching his lower self. Higher self was teaching lower self, right? Higher self was teaching lower self, right? And watch this. And so he went to his old place where he had been brought up. You see, some of you, your higher self will journey to your lower self now because they got authority, right? Because this person that your lower self is, it was brought up by somebody else. It was brought up by the environment. It was brought up by old teachers. It was brought up by some people that had some titles on their name. And that's why you listen to them, because they had a title. They ain't gonna disrespect my auntie, this is my uncle, this is my cousin, right? It had a title. He said he went to where he was brought up. See, some of you finna journey back to where you was brought up at. I told you, this is the year of being seen. You about to see your weakness and you about to see your strength. You finna see why you have authority. To God be the glory. That's your power, the authority. But for your lower self, it has power, but you got to journey back down and you got to unhook that power. Because the power of your past should not have no power over your future. You get what I just said? So you got to journey back down here and we got to unhook some stuff. You don't have no more power. So what Jesus said do? This is what Jesus did. Jesus said, look, I'm going back here to where I was raised up at, brought up at, right? Watch this. And he stood up to read something, right? Ain't this something? Listen to this. He went back to his past. Some of y'all, I'm done on this. Watch this. It says in verse Luke 4:17, he went back to where his customs was at, culture, I'm a black woman, single black woman. I'm on my own. You see? Lower self. Tell me about it. I'm strong black woman, independent. Lower self, right? God didn't create you as strong black woman. No, he did not. But for some reason, that's where your power is at. So let's go back to the Lord, strong black single woman. I handle my own, pay my own bills. Lower self, got it? Pay my own bills. I don't need nobody to do nothing for me. Lower self. So everything is your lower self. I don't need nobody to do nothing for me. You don't need nobody to do nothing for you. That is an indicator that you have manipulated yourself. That is an indicator that you have taken God out of. Well, you know what I mean. This ain't about knowing what you mean. This is about you understanding the directions to who you are. I'll prove it to you. I'm done on this, you guys. I gotta go. I'm broadcasting right now. This is the Rude Awakening. I'm in the conference center at the Soho House, you guys. I'm doing something different so we can have something different. I had to change the direction for a second. I'm on Luke 4. Watch this, you guys. And listen to this. Jesus, he went back to his own hometown where he grew up at, the environment. That means you had to visit your old self. And we have to take this power from this, Sharon. Watch this, Tamika. Look at this. Look at this. Watch this, Mika. Watch this. Look, verse 17. And a scroll of the prophet of Elijah was handed to him. Prophet, right? A real prophet. Some of you, my uncle prophesied, he's a prophet. This is a title. We talking about the real God. The real God will come to you and give you something amazing. I ain't talking about your cousin and this prophet you used to know, he prophesied over you. And nothing still happened for you, okay? Watch what really gonna happen. Let me show you what a real prophet is. It says, and he went to his old place. See, higher self went to lower self. This was the prophet. Higher self was the prophet that went to your lower self, which is your little earthly human nature. Went to you. Hey, wake up. Wake your butt up. Now you sitting here up, right? That's the old you. Prophet is the higher you. Here's the old you. I told you. The creator made a creation. You didn't have to find your purpose. He put your purpose already in you. It was called higher self. So now he brought the higher self to the lower self. Now watch this. Unrolled it. He frowned. See, I told you. You don't look for everything to try to make you feel a certain way. Church, tried to pledge, tried to make vows, tried to take some oaths. You tried to get some money. You thought your new car was going to do it. You thought that cutting your hair was going to do it. Some people done cut their hair bald. Some people done grew their hair out. Some people done tried dreadlocks. Some people done sit here. You done messed up your whole face. You done made it back up again. You done messed it all up again. And you done made it back up again. You done put some eyelashes in. And then done took your real ones out. Now you done take them out. You don't know who you are. You got to stick them back on to find out who you are. This is what I'm saying to you. Anything that God has given you is in its normal form. It's not until you try to do something, instead of allowing it to happen, you try to make it happen. And based on what you see, you have tried to adjust based off of what you see and not what it is you know. See, that's what handicapped us. So watch this. It says, unrolled it, he frowned, the place was written, the Spirit of the Lord is on me. You see, the higher you comes down to the lower you, then the lower you become powerless. So it's not about your past no more. It's about where you about to go and what's about to happen now. So watch this. He said, the Spirit of the Lord, and it anointed me to proclaim, meaning in advance. I'm going to let the Lord you know. Proclaim, meaning remove the word pro off and put the word claim on. That means you finna claim something in the future. The stuff you wrote down. But you're going to have to change your attitude. You ain't going to change it up here. You're going to change it down here. You're going to change how you talk, not up here, but down here. You're going to change how you walk, not up here, but down here. You're going to sit here and you ain't going to talk about no faith when you get there. And then you say, I got faith. No, you're going to get faith down here. You're going to change down here. You're going to rearrange down here. You're going to make some differences in your life down here. You're going to put some stuff, teach some stuff, remove some stuff, and adjust some stuff down here. He said, proclaim, right? This is you. Proclaim what? The good news. The good news is, Felicia, Jackie, Sharon, and everybody else. The good news that you finna proclaim to yourself is that I am my life coach. Bigger, better, greater is already happening right now. That's the good news. See, the good news of the Lord is when the higher you come to the lower you and you say, hey, listen, I am my life coach. That means I have power and authority and I'm about to take control over where we going. And it starts now. We're going to write down what we want. Every month we're going to have a goal. You're going to write that thing down and you're going to accomplish some stuff. We don't need a lot of victories. We just need a victory. And for some of us, we don't need big victories. We can start with small. We just need small wins in order to realize that we have won. And at the end of the day, long as we start winning, then we have won. To the breath of me, to the last day. You remember Paul said, I have kept the faith. The faith is, I believe bigger, better, greater, right? Don't you know Paul killed himself? He died right here. Look, watch this. He said, I have ran the fight, right? That means that I don't never stop trying bigger, better, greater. I don't settle for what was. I keep shooting for a higher version of who? Of me, because a higher version of me only can draw a version that's identical. You see, for some of you, you draw to you based on who you are. If you can also draw to you based on who you want to be. That's how you know some people fit your future. You see, if you start speaking to your future, then somebody that will show up says, look, I look like I belong in your future. I don't look like the woman from your past. But see, some of you so busy trying to compare people to what you have always been. That's because you ain't looking at where you're going, you looking at where you've been. And you looking at like, I've seen this picture before. Then guess what? Look at your life and ask yourself why you keep playing the old picture in your own life. So he said, I proclaim freedom, freedom, freedom for what? For prisoners. Who been prison? You. If you don't never see yourself as a prisoner, then you can never be free. You've been trapped by your past. You've been trapped by your old ways. You get it? Somebody said to me, I ain't no angel. I know I ain't no angel. Then you got to be a demon. So let me go ahead and rebuke that demon up off of you. Maybe this is why Jesus rebuked Peter. And when he didn't say Peter's name, he said, Satan, get behind me. For some of you, Satan, get behind me. Because bigger, better, greater is in front of me. And long as I'm looking at what's in front of me, then I can learn how to tell people, get behind me. Because you belong on lower self and I'm too busy operating on my higher self. That's my time, you guys, but I gotta say this last little line right here. He said, he said he has sent me to proclaim what? Freedom to your lower self from the prisoner, that's you, right? And recover. The road of recovery. Didn't I tell you? This is the road of recovery. Recovery meaning to get the health mentally, to get the strength that's rightfully deserved, to get the stuff I need. Why? Because we never had it. We never had it. Your body heals itself. You don't have to tell it how to heal itself. It will heal itself. You might put the Band-Aid on it, but the Band-Aid is not what brought the healing. He said whatever, he said it's according to your faith. See? Your faith. Recovery of sight for what? The blind. Who's been blind? Lower self. It's been blind because we thought this is it. This is all I know. This is what I like. I like this music. I like this food. I like what I like, you know. This ain't about what you like. This is about what you want to see happen. This is about, I get it. This is the opposite of like is like. The opposite of like is love, not hate. Because if you love something better, you will hate where you used to be. Let's be clear. You hate the things of your past. That's because you love where it is you're going. And that's all I'm saying. It's the attitude. You need the right attitude. He said, and set the oppressed free to proclaim the year of what? The year of favor. The favor is to be seen. Your strength and your weakness at the same time. Some of you, here's your strength. But we have to look at what is your weakness. Your weakness is you never took time out for yourself. not to go get a mani and a pedi. Taking time out for yourself is to learn yourself. I am my life coach. I want to thank y'all for taking this time out. I appreciate that. I want to do a lot more different things, ask questions, invite people in. It's just, it's challenging. It's challenging because I'm growing, but I'm also growing out of some of my old ways. And I'm grateful that I located some of you in my old ways, because if I wasn't in my old ways, I would have never located you. Now that I located you and we moved to a new place, then the bigger and better I become, the bigger, better you become. I'm grateful for you guys. Please share this work, share the feed. Make sure you constantly invest into yourself. Purchase them hoodies, you guys. That's how we keep the broadcast going, and that's how you keep yourself going. The only one that can motivate you and encourage you is you. The only one that can motivate you and encourage you is you. It's an inside job. Eventually, practice where you want to be till you eventually end up becoming that person. You have to build your confidence up, right? I set this community up so that we can talk and we can have this type of conversations and dialogue. I hope that this is making an impact in your life just as much as it's making an impact in mine. Thank you guys for giving me your time on Saturday. Thank you for giving yourself the time. Let me see this one little thing. I'm making make sure that you come to the Mighty Monday Meltdown. It's on the 7 o'clock hour. That's when we call our time out on the battlefield. The battlefield is called life. I want to discuss a little more thing. We're going to continue to talk about the road of recovery. That's what this first month is about. It's about recovering, which is an identity. We need an identity, you guys. So if we can recover that, then one thing can change everything. And at that point, long as life giving you what you need, I won't have to worry about you coming back. You will come back on your own because it's effective. If you never come back, that's because you've been doing what you have always done. You take something and you don't want to give nothing. And you give a little, you get a little. And for some of us, we want something amazing to happen, and that's why we're here. We're here for results. That's it. That's all. It's about the results. And if you're getting your results, then why would you stop? We will keep doing this. Peace and blessings. That's my time.